Pisces, September was a difficult month for you, and therefore I was pleased that you'd found a way through it with love, from love, in October. That seems to continue this month of November, but there are a few things that I would question. I was worried that in September you'd opened up your shadow, as it were, and boxed it back up. There's an indication that after November it comes out again, because it does see you after November being kept awake at night by something. And I think it's the very thing that was really troubling you in November. Certainly last month you had a difficult decision to make, but I'm sure that you chose love. And love is very, very much the theme this month. Well, actually the theme is you going inside yourself and looking for answers. It's the best place to find them in terms of this. But as I say, it's your shadow that you've been suppressing, and to a certain degree you've locked it up again. Now, you are being told to be temperate. I think that's just your attitude towards others, not to be too hard on others. And if you can be like that, then you will find this wonderful, wonderful love. Family sort of love, I think it's somebody that you already know. Well, probably your partner, and settling into that without trying to judge your partner, be too critical of your partner. As I say, however, I think it rears its ugly head again after this month. It's jealousy, isn't it, that you've been getting up to. Now, what would help is you recognising that you have been reborn and recognising that there's hope, that you can overcome these things. Let's get into it for you, Pisces. Pisces, in September you explored your own shadow. You uncovered many difficult and unpleasant things. Now, you're a bit of a master at burying it, and what concerned me was that you reburied it, and I was concerned it would come out again. You reburied it, but you turned to love, which is the best thing to turn to. You continue to do so this month, but this month you are going back inside your head, going back and trying to work things out. So I think it is resurfacing these issues. They don't really manifest until after this month. But this month you're going in and exploring, and it is the best place to do it. So yeah, you're revisiting where I think you were September, but without it being such a difficult month. Well, I don't think it's particularly difficult at all. Now, last month, I think you achieved this greater harmony because you took an important decision. It was a decision that I think you found difficult to take. And was it about, do you rebury what you've uncovered? I think it could be. I think it was also about ignoring some things that you think are important. I think quite a lot has manifested itself as jealousy for you. And it is about ignoring those things that make you jealous, maybe. Maybe there's more to it than that. It's a decision that you found difficult to take. And it does impact on this month. But I think you threw your lot in with love last month. I think you are realising that was the right thing to do. Now, what dominates it currently is love. I normally say this was new love, but it could easily be just a renewed love. In fact, I think it probably is a renewed love, but it could be a new love. You know, if you don't have love, then a new love does come. Love is certainly incredibly important, very important in all that's happening to you and all that's going on. And it's about opening your heart, filling your heart full of love. And you have in the past, because of this shadow that you've kept tucked up, it's sort of coming out, but it's affecting your love, affecting maybe your love for someone, I think, maybe manifesting itself in form of jealousy. But you know, you're doing pretty well. You're sticking with love and keeping it at bay. Now, as I say, I do think that through love you're able to keep things at bay, this month at least. But after this month, they do begin to raise their head again. Maybe they only manifest themselves in your inability to sleep, your worry about something, being kept awake at night, worrying. And I know for some of you at least this is in the form of jealousy. I'm not saying it is for everybody, but these things from the past do raise their head, do give you nightmares, you know, do make you unable to sleep at night. And that really comes back with quite a vengeance after this month. So you've had sort of 2 months of relative calm, but they will be coming back. And that was my worry in September. That was my worry last month of how you'd approached it. And the way you're able to achieve a balance and sort of carry on with your life despite these sort of dramatic thoughts that you have is that you're able to sort of steer a middle path. You're able to find the middle ground, as it were. So even though you do have these sort of outpourings of, and as I say, for some of you it's jealousy, but outpourings of emotions, in the main you keep them in check, in the main you keep them in balance. In fact, it's probably at night time that they come out. But in the main you keep them in check, and that does lead to a great outcome this month. As I say, next month I think things slip a little. Or I don't know if it's next month, it's the future. But right now, by finding this middle ground, you're able to find a balance. Now, I think I'm right that you shouldn't have reboxed up all these things. Last month I thought I was wrong, but I'm pretty certain I'm right now. And what you really need to do is to let them out, and be reborn as a result and say, okay, that was the past. I have a new life now. I'm reborn and full of hope. And I think you are capable of doing that. I don't think you actually do it this month, but hopefully it will happen eventually. And it's a new path for you. You become a new person that's full of hope, that doesn't look to the past as things defining your future. Now this sort of taking the middle ground, taking an even sort of balanced view of things, it does mean that your relationships, your love relationships, your family, it just gets better and better and better. And it's because you, I think, putting it into context, which is why I think, at least for many of you, this is all about jealousy. And jealousy comes from insecurity of the past. And if you can sort of find a middle ground on that, then your relationships will be much better. And if your relationships are much better, then you will stop focusing on the things that are causing the problems for you. So I think there is a way through all of this for you. And my heart goes out to you, Pisces. So let's summarise. Pisces, I was a bit concerned about you in September. Your shadow was coming out. Something from your past. Maybe your childhood, maybe not that far back. But it was coming out, and then you boxed it back up. And I was worried that that will come out and bite you at a later date. There is an indication that that happens, not this month, but in the future. You're certainly resurrecting some of those things that went on in September. You're going through in your head about your past, about things. You're trying to sort it out again, which is what I thought you would do in September, but you didn't. You pulled back from it. It's all about love. The focus is all about love. And I think some of this manifests itself in terms of jealousy. It won't be for all of you, but I think for many of you it is. Maybe there's a new love. I think it's probably a renewed love rather than a new love. But love is very, very important. And what you do is you sort of start taking a middle ground. So instead of seeing things in black and white, you begin to see things as shades of grey, as it were. You become a little bit more understanding of others, seeing things from the other point of view a little bit more. That's my feeling of what happens. And as a result, this love becomes stronger. This love becomes, it's very much a family type of thing, but it becomes very, very happy. Love does dominate. And that in itself will probably help you to resolve these issues. Nevertheless, they do resurrect themselves after this month and manifest themselves in terms of nightmares, which is exactly what has happened to you for so long, isn't it? The real way through is to accept them, allow them to come out, and move on in your life. Be reborn, move on. Be reborn in hope that that the future doesn't have to be directed by the past.